Hi everybody, my name is Nicole.
My name is Isella.
And this is Muchachalacas.
Cheers! Cheers!
I gulped that so loud.
Some ASMR.
Oops. Happy Valentine's Day!
Happy Valentine's Day! Woohoo! Like those little toys you used to play with.
Yeah. Oh my god, like the ones that
and
it's the fairy shoots.
Happy Valentine's Day!
I hope y'all are having a good day. And I don't know, however you're spending it.
However one spends Valentine's Day, the commercial holiday.
Anyway.
So welcome to our Valentine's Day episode.
Yes.
We're so excited for this episode.
Yeah, we have some like juicy stories for y'all. From Reddit.
Some juicy Reddit stories. Some fun little
commentary.
I was gonna say like anecdotes from
anecdotes from people we don't know.
A little tale.
Yeah.
A little tale.
So Isella, we should start this episode with our favorite rom-coms. Yeah.
Rom-coms. Okay, as I said in the last video, in the last pod, or no, in the New Year's pod, or whenever, I don't know which one's next. I have been getting into rom-coms since this year started, and I've watched the classics so far.
What would that be?
I'm like, I watched She's All That. I'm a little partial because I do love Freddie Prinze Jr. And that movie I feel like is so 2000s. So when did it come out? In the 90s?
I think it came out in the 90s.
Well, regardless, it still reminds me of like that era. Like it's so that
yeah.
Even though it's such a normal trope, like I can make her popular.
I know.
But it always eats. I watched 10 Things I Hate About You.
I love that movie.
I know, it's so good.
I love that movie. It's so cheesy, but I absolutely love it.
I love it. I think of all the ones I've watched, though, my favorite was Love at First Sight. I don't know if you watched it.
Oh, I didn't.
You need to watch it. I feel like it was so not advertised by Netflix at all, but it's literally the cutest movie I've ever seen in my life. I was sitting there like... It's so cute, and like it's based off of a book, and I've never read the book, but I want to. And like I guess he references the book at the end of the film.
Oh,
and I didn't catch it until I saw it on TikTok, and I was like, wait a minute.
You're like, oh, I want to read it now.
Yeah, because he's like a stats guy, like and she's just a go with the flow kind of girl, you know.
Okay.
And with like family trauma and stuff like that, and then they meet because she needs to charge her phone. And they're like polar opposites. And I think that's why they fall in love. And they fall in love on the airplane flight from New York to London. And then they like lose each other. And they like have to find each other again because they're soulmates.
What?
But it's so cute. And it's really funny. And I like the actors in it. It's Ben Hardy. And then the girl from 5 Feet Apart. Did you ever watch that movie?
Is it the one that had Cole Sprouse in it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I did watch that.
It's her and then that guy, but their chemistry is insane, Nicole. But like the soundtrack is so cute. It's just so good. I highly recommend it to literally everybody in the world because it's so good. And I cried.
I might have to watch it.
You might have to. It's so good. What's yours?
I feel like I like all of the early 2000s rom-coms.
Mm-hmm.
Like I love Hitch. I watched it like the other day.
I've never seen Hitch before.
It's so good. I like that movie. It's funny. Like it's actually
like an actual com.
What's that actor? The one that's like, you know, like the meme. The one with like
Kevin James.
He's in it. He's like one of the main characters.
Really?
Yes. It's so funny.
Listen, I know he's like a really big actor, but I just cannot see him in anything except for like Grown Ups or Paul Bart Mall Cop.
Well, you should definitely watch this movie.
When did it come out? Is it like old?
Breaks into song. Let's find out. 2005. And then I really like The Proposal is really good.
Oh, The Proposal is so good.
I love The Proposal.
It's
I
so good.
love oh my gosh, I'm blanking.
I know. There's so many.
Friends with Benefits is good too.
I've never seen that
The
one
one
either.
with Justin Timberlake.
Yes, it's on my like my to watch list. But yeah,
there's so many. We could just talk about rom-coms.
We should
forever.
We should for always.
Just a marathon.
This is a rom-com.
We should marathon. We should do like a Netflix watch party and just watch Hitch.
Oh. And Love at First Sight.
Okay, and watch like all of the good movies that they have on there.
Do you prefer rom-coms or romance movies?
I like rom-coms because they're more like something that would actually happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. like not rom-coms, romances. I did watch like, what's his name? Nicholas Sparks. Is that his name? The author?
Yeah. Of The Notebook?
Yeah, his movies. I watched some of them. Kind of long.
Very long. I love The Notebook, but it is incredibly
It's really good. I had never seen it before I like did my marathon, and I was like, it was like not at all what I expected. I did not think it was gonna be like from the point of view of like a book.
Yeah. Yeah. But did it have to be like 3 hours long? Perhaps not.
Perhaps they could have cut a lot of scenes.
I have read somewhere that Ryan Gosling and Rachel McAdams, right?
Yeah.
They hated each other. They absolutely despise each other. And I'm like, well, they made it work. Because damn.
They are actors.
They are talented. Because I would have not been able to pull that off.
I know. Do you know why they hated each other? Or they just...
I just don't think they vibed very well. But yeah, I don't know where I read that. It could be fake news. I don't know.
It's just in you.
Yeah, I might have made it up.
Just podcast brain.
You know what? That's what I'm going to do on the 14th. I'm just going to marathon rom-coms.
Genius.
I don't have plans.
Let's do our Netflix party.
I'm so down. Yeah, so today we prepared some stories from Reddit. Did you want to go first? Do you want me to go first?
Whatever you want.
I feel like you always go first.
Okay.
So I can go first. Alrighty.
We're gonna do Am I the A-hole?
I'm gonna do one Am I the A-hole? So we have these little flags. If we believe that they are the A-hole, we will raise our little flags. Mm-hmm. But in all honesty, we're probably gonna be raising these flags the entire time.
If you haven't noticed already.
They're the fidgets of tonight. Okay,
hit it.
So I'm going to start with my story. So this is from r/Am I the A-hole? And this says, Am I the A-hole for calling my best friend dumb for marrying for love? I, 27, female, am in a very stable relationship with my fiance, 29, female? I think that's what it says, for around 4 years, and we are planning to get engaged eventually and then marry. My best friend, Chrissy, fake name, and also 27 female, has been with her own fiance since they were 20. They only got engaged this year, and it was kind of weird how it took him so long to propose since he seemed to be financially stable and all. Throughout the years, I asked Chrissy why her fiance hadn't proposed yet, and she kept insisting it was not the right time, but she'd never say the reason why, just that it wasn't the right time. Eventually, he proposed in the beginning of 2022, and they were planning their wedding for next year. They decided to plan their engagement party during summertime because due to busy schedules, they couldn't do it earlier. So their engagement party was this past Saturday, and her fiance made a speech dedicated to her and mentioned pretty much the reasons they didn't get engaged sooner, and I couldn't help but pity my friend. So the reasons were that he didn't have a stable job for the first few years of their relationship and only jumped from position to position, from Walmart to Target, etc. He hadn't finished his degree yet, so he had no higher education. He got his degree in 2019 and only then was able to get a proper job. He bragged and also thanked Chrissy for never giving up on him and growing with him, and how they helped each other form their amazing personalities and achievements, and how no matter what the future holds, he'll never forget, etc. My fiance and I felt some type of way about it. Some
They were sitting at the table.
They were like judging the whole time. Yeah. Fishy.
Oh no. I like that, those reactions.
Oh my god. Anyway, my fiance and I felt some type of way about it. Some friends of mine and Chrissy agreed how Chrissy basically stayed with a broke man and waited for 7 years, and we don't think that's something praiseworthy but pity-worthy.
Oh.
As friends, we decided to explain to her out of perspective how we think it was ridiculous that she had to wait. She had to almost reach 30 to move on with her life with that man when someone else could provide what she needed much sooner. Chrissy always said how she wanted a marriage and kids, and it's sad she had to wait this long for this man to get his act together, and she didn't know her worth. She said she loves him and he's amazing. He's an amazing partner and wouldn't break up with him over his misfortunes. And what matters is that they love each other. I told her it's dumb how she's marrying for love and not for stability, and how she's basically wasting herself for love, and how the first issue should be raised when he was working at Walmart and Target back to back. She called us all materialistic and classist, and she said she doesn't care if she struggles financially as long as she struggles with the right person who will value her emotions and listen to her. She said, we are miserable.
We are miserable.
She said, we are miserable, who will find no happiness in life and are very shallow. Could we be the a-holes for criticizing her this way?
I absolutely think that they're in the wrong.
Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay.
Wait, this was if they are.
Yeah.
So this is about the couple, right? Not the girl and her fiance, but
the girl like judging her.
I think that they are the a-holes because I agree. I think that's classic. Oh, I thought you were...
No.
I think they are being classist. I think it's not fair to say, isn't that the whole point of marriage? To marry if you love somebody?
Yeah.
No, but if she's happy and if she's an adult, I feel like if she had known that she didn't want to be with this man, she would have left him a long time ago, you know?
Yeah. I agree and I disagree.
Mm-hmm.
I agree, yeah, they're being completely, because first, it's not your relationship.
Out of line.
Yeah, I would understand out of concern for my friend, but at the end of the day, if they want to be there, that's on them. You can't like force her to see, like you're not going to change her perspective, basically. Yeah. It's like fighting with a wall.
And it's already been so long.
And they're already engaged. Like, it's going to happen. You should have told her when he was working at Walmart. Why did you wait?
If it was such a concern for you,
if it was such a concern that this was just absolutely a deal breaker, it should have been brought up 10 years before.
Literally, yeah.
But I can also see how she would be worried for her stability. Because, I mean, at the same time, if you're going to be with somebody, you also have to make sure that they're being taken care of, not just emotionally, but financially.
Like
they have a house. Yeah, exactly. But, I mean, she also did say he had a stable job now.
Yeah. Like,
so I don't understand what the problem is.
And now that they are engaged, like, he waited until they were engaged. So, like,
well, he got the stable job and then he proposed, from what it sounds like. Well,
yeah, but like...
But, I mean, he has a job.
He made... Yeah. But, like, even then, like, the poster, whatever, the original lady was, like... He didn't have a higher education and he worked at Walmart. Like, that's bad.
It is bad. Like, not bad. It is bad what she was thinking.
Worded it, yeah.
Yeah. Like... But even if he worked at Walmart, that's still having a job.
I know. I don't think there's anything wrong with
there's anything
his
wrong
career
with that.
Or anything. Like, I really think if she... Well, it's just the way she worded it. Like,
I just don't think...
You're dumb for marrying for love and not for... not for financial...
Down.
Financial stability.
Stability.
Financial stability is just it's just intense. It's an intense thing to say to someone who is I mean, she obviously loves him, or else she wouldn't have stayed with him for so long.
Exactly. And I feel like maybe he was working at Walmart and Target to be able to get himself through this higher education degree. Not everybody has parents that can pay for that. Like, not everybody wants to take out loans.
Also, not everyone just wants to do it.
Exactly. And like, that's, I don't know. Like, I agree that she should be stable in her relationship, in her marriage, like financially and emotionally. But it seems like that is the case. Like, he has a stable job and she's happy. So I don't understand what this friend's problem is.
It's just weird to wait until after the engagement party.
Exactly. It's weird to wait. And I feel like in a way she was like turning everybody against them.
Yeah.
Because it was like me and my fiance and everybody else started feeling this way. I feel like she started going around to people and being like,
wait a minute.
Didn't you think that was weird?
So she was like, she's like with her drink at the party, like going up next to them and like, so
what did you think about that speech? I can totally see that.
I do think it's weird to mention all that stuff in your speech though, because you could have just been like, I love you, I'm so excited to be engaged. But he's like, we didn't get engaged because in front of all these people.
I don't think he said it like that, or the way that I imagine. Obviously I wasn't there, but like, the way that I pictured in my head, he was probably just like, thanks for sticking through me through thick and thin when I wasn't at my best. Stuff like that. I'm assuming that that's why he mentioned that stuff, not necessarily we did not get engaged because
maybe he addressed it because he knew everyone would have been like, what took so long? Like, he was probably explaining it a little bit. Maybe.
I don't think so, because I feel like that's common with people to say like, you've been with me through all my hardships when I was this and this.
Okay,
and this.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I think it was kind of like that, and then this woman took it and was like, he worked at Walmart. She's the a-hole.
Word.
Okay. Word.
Okay, so mine is called, Am I the a-hole for wanting more from my boyfriend on Valentine's Day? So today was my boyfriend, male 22, and I, female 22, first Valentine's Day as a couple. We met online in 2020, but due to the pandemic, we didn't meet in person until mid last year. And since then, we've been together. Oh, this was also posted a year ago. So it's not like they did an online date for 2 years.
and meet yesterday.
Like, this was actually posted yesterday, last night.
This was posted 3 hours ago.
This morning. I grew up well looked after and never wanted much because my mother is a very giving person and always went above and beyond for me. This translated into my love language as I am a big giver and can be extravagant in what I give. I don't expect everyone in my life to be extra the way that I am. I often pick up little gifts from my boyfriend for no real occasion.
Occasion.
For no real occasion, just because it's how I express my affection. He doesn't often reciprocate, but it usually doesn't bother me because he expresses his love in other ways. However, since this Valentine's Day was the first we'd be spending as a couple, I was really hoping he would go out of his way to do something special, especially because I had communicated that it'd mean a lot to me. He voiced that he wouldn't take the time off of work, which I understood, and suggested that arrangements could be made for after work or the weekend before. He said that it didn't matter if we didn't celebrate the day together because we were going on a trip 2 weeks beforehand. This upset me because the vacation booked was never planned for it to be a consolation for Valentine's Day plans, nor did we do anything special on the vacation that related to Valentine's Day. The trip was solely planned by me and split financially 50-50, despite me being a student and him working full-time. This isn't anything I find issue with. Whoa, that's a typo. This isn't anything I find issues with on a normal occasion, but this isn't what I consider a Valentine's gift or plan. I explained to him that I like to at least celebrate it another way. He said, we'll see. On the last day of our holiday, he gave me a card and told me to open it on Valentine's Day. From then, I knew he had no plans to see me today, but I still hoped I might be wrong. Today, when he told me he had nothing planned for us, I asked if he could plan something for this weekend, and he complained about the prices of everything. I opened his card and I appreciated his words, but I couldn't help but feeling disappointed that no other effort was made. I didn't get a gift or anything else from him. Oh, wait, no. I didn't get a gift or anything else from him. Is that what I said?
Yeah. The exact same thing you said.
I thought it was saying she didn't get him anything.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't often ask for it back as I don't give it to get, but today hurt me. I spent hours making him a basket filled with his favorite things, and I won't even give it to him today. I can't tell if I'm being overdramatic and if I don't want to come off, as ungrateful and spoiled, but I just feel very underappreciated and disappointed that he's gone to no effort for something to care about.
Oof.
No, you're not the a-hole.
No, that man is cheap.
And it's like, you're supposed to love someone else in their love language, not in your love language.
Exactly.
So
Exactly. Okay, first of all, he's working full-time, you're a student, and he made you split that 50-50.
And he made you plan the whole thing.
And he made you plan. I'm sorry. What? Crazy.
Everyone agrees.
And then he didn't go out of his way to get her, like, not even flowers,
just a card.
card.
A card with some nice words.
Are you kidding? I would dump him.
Mm-hmm.
Dump him.
And just
that's not a good guy, my girl.
That's just sad because she like told him multiple times. Like she communicated with him that she wanted to do something special for Valentine's Day. Like that's the one thing she asked for. She didn't ask for a gift. She just wanted to spend time with him.
Yeah. How bad can the prices be that you can't even take her out to dinner?
It doesn't even have to cost money.
You could even make her dinner at home. I'm sure she would have loved that. Yeah, I'm sure. And you could have just gotten like a bottle of her favorite wine or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And then like some flowers.
Mm-hmm.
That's putting an effort, but you're not going out of your way. It's not. He's not doing the effort because he doesn't care.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, we should do an advice podcast.
Ooh, for real. But all of the girls who have no boyfriends at the moment. Dump him
to that girl. Dump him because he doesn't appreciate you, girl.
Yeah. And that was a year ago?
Yeah.
There was no update?
I
hope she's gone from she's gotten into a better situation.
But that's nuts because it was their first Valentine's Day together, but like what did they do when they didn't spend Valentine's Day together? Like, did he send her something? Did he
Probably
do anything?
Not. Girl, I used to get flowers during the pandemic when I was with somebody. He used to send me flowers to my house in my hometown, and he was here. That's the effort.
Yeah.
And you can't even get her like a gift.
He could have sent her flowers too. He could have done literally anything. That's
He's
a
the
down
a-hole.
It's a down vote.
Okay. So my next story is actually not an am I the a-hole?
These are like hard to drink out of. I don't know what part to take a drink of.
I've been drinking out of the point. like this.
So small. It's like playing the flute or something.
I used to play the flute.
Is it Ming? You did?
Yeah. I did play the flute.
Try to guess what instrument I used to play. What vibes do I give?
Clarinet. The saxophone.
Dang. At me, 5
I was like, you had the little reed going on.
Maybe that's why I have a lisp.
You were like...
Imagine if I still played. That'd be so...
You would have been in charge of the jingle.
You're like, and welcome back. And we just you're like, I had told someone I used to play saxophone. She was like, oh, that's so you. That's so your vibe. And I was like, what kind of vibe do I give that I play?
Do I look like a flute player? Do I look like a flute player?
Was it a flute like straight down or was it like a...
like this?
Yeah. I think you give more clarinet. You're like, out.
I know, you know what? It's canceled. Okay, so as I was saying, my next story is not MIV a-hole. It's just a story from r/love stories, and it says, dated my ex's best friend. Now we are here, and it's a long one.
Already sounds juicy. I'm ready.
All right. I met this guy number 1, who was friends with the guy number 2 I was dating over 3 years ago.
Wait, should we give him big names?
Yeah. What you digging?
Should we just do celebrities? Name guy number 1.
Harry.
Yeah, and guy number 2 can be Luke. Yeah.
So guy number 1 is Harry and guy number 2 is Luke?
Yeah.
Gotcha. So I met Harry, who was friends with Luke, who I was dating over 3 years ago now. I dated Luke for 2 years too long. It was it was toxic on both sides and absolutely draining. But in that time, I became very close friends with Harry. He was my shoulder to cry on and my Jiminy Cricket. What does that mean? What do you mean? He was your Jiminy Cricket. I've never heard that before.
What do you... I don't know what that means. I mean, Jiminy Cricket, wasn't he like
the Pinocchio guy? The cricket in Pinocchio.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
What do you mean by that? Anyway, he was my shoulder to cry on and my Jiminy Cricket. Luke didn't see any issues with us being friends since we all lived together plus one more of their friends. Until he found out I was going to him with our issues, or that he was comforting me when we fought. Harry and I helped each other a lot through a lot of dark times. When Luke and I had our nasty breakup, Harry protected my belongings until I was able to move them out. Harry drifted from Luke because of the abuse he put me through. Laid hands on him once to protect me.
Ooh.
Oh, so
they got in a fight.
Dang. Okay. I still kept in contact with Harry for a little bit. Luke texted me shortly after I moved out, saying mean things along with, so now you can do things that I cannot say with Harry. Yay. I was very hurt by him thinking I wanted that, so to prove I wasn't like that, I drifted from Harry. Harry got professional help and asked...
Wait, what?
Yeah, it says Harry got professional help. That help asked him about people in his life. This woman does, or man.
As in Harry was going through something and he went to therapy?
Yeah, that's basically what it sounds like. And the therapist or the help, I don't know what that means. The help asked him about people in his life, positive people. And he brought up me saying we hadn't talked in a while. His help told him, why does she keep saying, or why do they keep saying his help? That sounds really weird.
Maybe he's like going to, I don't know, his mom. I'll say Harry. It's fine.
So his help told him to rekindle the friendship. So he contacted me and we started hanging out again for a few months. And we were planning a January trip to Vegas. Ended up going to Florida instead. My date for my best friend's wedding bailed on me last minute to hook up with a married older chick. I have bad luck picking them, I know. So I asked Harry to be my plus one. During the whole reception, I was sending people to talk with him and kept an eye on him to make sure he wasn't alone. Oh, I was a bridesmaid and had to stick with the main table. He didn't know anyone other than the bride and groom, all mutual friends through me. Later on that night, I was beyond drunk. I was sitting with him outside and said something that had been playing on my mind for the past 6 months. if by chance neither of us are in a committed relationship by 30 or 32, we should get hitched.
Not the deal.
Yeah.
This is so fan fiction.
It is. Oh my god, I regretted it immediately because I thought I ruined everything. He laughed and said in the most sarcastic tone, "That's the most romantic thing you've ever said to me," but didn't answer me. And she put this in all caps, but didn't answer me.
That's replaying in her mind.
Yeah. I was stewing until the slow dance of the night. Couldn't find him, so I started dancing with the groom's younger brother. He's like a little brother to me too, in parentheses. Their mom did not like that.
What?
But I don't know. But when we spotted him, he cut in. Near the end of the song, he finally responded, "To answer you from earlier, I don't need to wait until we're 32. I about cried on the spot, still drunk, and buried my head in his chest. I told the other bridesmaids and the bride immediately after, and they were ecstatic and crying. The wedding ended, I don't know. The wedding ended shortly after that, and he drove me back to the Airbnb that the bride had gotten for the girls to stay at the 2 nights before. He ended up staying the night because I was there alone and it was in the city. He was a gentleman. We cuddled a little until I fell asleep. I woke up at some point and heard him doing the cleaning I was planning on doing the next morning. In the morning, we made out a little bit, but it didn't go any further because I didn't want to go that fast. We went to the mall, and he got me a Build-A-Bear toothless. Oh, Build-A-Bear toothless, like the
dragon.
Yeah. Pretty much to mark the day. And we met up with the bride and groom for lunch. His way of telling them we were officially together was literally saying, "Thank you." The groom asking why, and him planting one on me without warning. The groom gloated for a while afterwards, saying, "I told you so." We didn't sleep together until a month into officially dating, and oh my god, I think the fact that we had such a deep connection beforehand made it so much better. I couldn't keep my hands off him until now. And the reason I say until now is because we're expecting our little girl at the beginning of November and lost my sex drive, sadly. We got engaged 2 months ago and are celebrating our 1-year anniversary next week. Countless people that I've told this story to have said I need to get a hold of Hallmark and make it a movie. What do you guys think?
I think... What about Luke?
He's long gone.
I'm just wondering if he was good enough friends with Harry to be like with their roommates.
Yeah, they were all roommates.
That's crazy because that means they were friends to some degree. I understand they got into a fight, but I'm like,
yeah.
Do you think it's movie worthy?
Yes. I mean, it's cute to some degree.
Yeah. I mean, it would make a good like drama. It's a rom-drom. Is that a genre?
You came up with it.
Yeah. I pioneered it. I do like that story though, because I feel like if it was a book, I would have eaten it up.
Oh, for sure.
Okay. So my story is also not an Am I the A-hole anymore. It is just on our love stories as well.
Had to keep it interesting.
We had to keep it kind of cute. It's Valentine's Day.
Yeah. You're getting a little bit of everything.
Anyways, okay, so this one's called The Chicago Guy. And it was posted 3 years ago, so... Okay. So I, 32 female, have a best friend that started dating this guy long distance. One day, she told me she was moving in with him. I thought she was crazy for giving up her job and traveling over 500 miles to move in with him. What would you do if I did that? I'm like, Nicole,
I would also be like, you are crazy. Especially, have they met in person before?
A year later, she called me and asked if I was willing to be one of her bridesmaids. Long story short, I declined, but she was understanding. That's crazy.
Why did she decline?
Maybe she was...
Were they good friends?
I have my best friend, yeah.
Okay, I don't understand.
Yikes.
Okay, well, if you asked me to be your bridesmaid, I wouldn't decline. I would still think you're crazy.
You're like, I'm going to be there, and I'm going to have a good time.
Yeah, I'd be like, you know what color dress you wearing? Like,
okay. I flew to Chicago where they had been living to attend the wedding. So she was still going as a guest, just she didn't want to be a part of the party, which is
party pooper.
fine, I guess. At least she's still going.
I'd be mad. If I was a friend, I'd be mad.
I'm like, oh, you're still in attendance.
Oh, you still want to eat my food and drink my drink
for free?
Yeah, the least you could do is be my bridesmaid.
So true. Before the ceremony, I noticed this guy. Fit, blue-eyed, dirty blonde hair, and handsome.
I thought you said thick. It's like, whoa. Okay. Ooh, I
just... okay. And handsome. I kept my distance. Figured a guy like that was probably taken. That's so real.
For real.
During the ceremony, I noticed he was one of the groomsmen. I will confess, I did stare at him while he stood up there. He looked like a piece of art.
Oh, so she missed her chance because she declined.
They could have walked down the aisle together.
Dumb person.
He was one of the most gorgeous guys I have ever laid my eyes on. After the ceremony, I mingled with friends, dinner, and then drinks, and dancing for the reception party. I went up to the bar and was waiting to order my drink. This is so movie already.
I know. I was like waiting for him to come up to the bar and be like, I've been waiting to talk to you. I feel like you always do that. You did that. You did that in the first episode too, and you were like,
it's because of that one commercial. It's the commercial where it's like a credit card commercial, and she's like, and if you don't like it, just rewind it. And she's in the bar, and this guy's like, hey, and she like pauses it. And
I've never seen that.
Hey, you're back.
Anyways, I turned to so she's at the bar ordering a drink. I turned to my side and noticed the handsome groomsman was standing right next to me. He said hi, and I felt like a shy high school girl all over again. We introduced ourselves. His name was A. But I don't want to call him A. Let's give him a name.
What's a good name with A? Apollo.
Just kidding. Like Atticus.
Adonis.
Like Austin.
Abraham? Just kidding. Oh my god.
I like Abraham.
No.
We need to give him like a rom-com name.
Abel. Just kidding. What's a rom-com name?
Like, I don't know. If you're like, oh, those two are so cute together, that's her and...
Oh, that's Anthony Kissinger. Just kidding.
That sounds like a real name.
It probably is. Someone out there.
I like Anthony. You're like Antony.
Antony.
Anton.
Alejandro. Wait, we should come up with a French name. Like, what was that guy from Titanic? JP Morgan? What was his name?
The one with the... Oh! I don't remember how to say it, but I know what you're talking about. The French.
That's good.
And I don't know any names.
Andy. Just kidding.
Anderson.
Fine.
Is that
that sounds like a rom-com name.
Anderson?
Yeah.
Okay. His name was Anderson, and he was born and raised in Michigan and moved to Chicago.
Oh, this sounds like a rom-com.
I know. And he moved to Chicago 4 years ago for a job. We talked for a little bit and then went off on our own. They were like, all right, good talk. See ya.
Girl, I would have been catching digits.
At least twice that night we made eye contact, but we never approached and talked to each other again. I was talking to my best friend and I had mentioned that I met Anderson. First thing she said was, isn't he so effing hot? And asked for my opinion at her wedding.
What?
She's like, isn't he so hot? At her own...
I mean, she can look at the menu, she just can't order.
I guess. In her wedding gown.
It is what it is, I guess.
We were laughing and giggling. She said he's been a good friend of her husband's. He's 28 and single. She's never seen him in a relationship. She encouraged me to make a move, but I didn't. I flew back home and I figured that was it. I missed my chance. A few days after the wedding, I received a friend request on Facebook. It was the Chicago guy, Anderson. Right at that moment, I felt a rush of butterflies hitting my stomach.
Oh, he totally asked the friend for
her name.
Yeah. Facebook, though?
They're in their late 20s, early 30s.
I guess. It is what it is.
Right at that moment, okay, butterflies, I accepted the friend request. I didn't want to overthink it. A few hours upon accepting it, he Facebook messaged me, "Do you remember me?" I was thinking, how could I forget? But I responded, no.
Oh my god.
Why would she say no?
Wait, he said, "Do you remember me?" And she's like, "No." Then why did
she was thinking, how can I forget? I don't know. Maybe they had the mutual friends of the best friend, and she was like, oh.
But she told us she was trying to play cool. I'm pretty sure that's what she was doing. She was trying to be like, oh,
nah. And he responded by introducing himself and that he was the guy I met by the bar at the wedding reception. I then messaged him that I was just joking with him, and I do remember him.
You're the a-hole.
We exchanged Instagram and Snapchat. From there, we started messaging each other at least once every other day. It was November. Work was sending me to a little city in Wisconsin called Kenosha.
I guess.
Kenosha.
Kenosha.
Never heard of it.
Same.
I had to look it up. I mentioned to Anderson that I was going to be there for a few days during the weekdays for work. He said Kenosha was about an hour and a half drive from where he was at and he wanted to visit me. I said no, not worth it, especially if he has to come after work. I can't spend too much time with him since I have to be up early the next day. So I'm in, I like the way so I'm in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Work has me in this cold warehouse and in the basement of this old office building, digging up old files out of boxes. It's freezing cold. I'm from warm, sunny weather. I brought the thickest jacket with a hoodie underneath and my work baseball cap. I don't own a winter coat, and my baseball cap was not keeping my head and ears warm. The maintenance guy was kind enough to lend me a coat. Back at my hotel, I was messaging back and forth with Anderson. I was lonely sitting in this hotel room. I sent him my cell phone number and told him to call me. We ended up talking all night. He said he's going to make the drive the next day to visit me, and I agreed. The next day, while at work, all I thought about was him. I got back to my hotel and I hopped into the shower and quickly prettied up. I was a nervous wreck. I swore I jumped when he called me and said he was coming up to my room. Oh! He walked in, and at first I avoided eye contact. I was trying to remain calm, and I was trying to calm my nerves first, and then I noticed I was blushing, but I didn't want him to see. Okay, this is the first time they've spoken since
the wedding.
The bar at the wedding.
Yikes.
Or met each other, I guess, seen each other. But once we locked eyes, I knew there was something special about him. He's different from other guys I've been with.
He's not like other guys.
Yikes.
He's YN. Just kidding.
He is YN. He said he was going to take me out for a bite and walk the shoreline of Lake Michigan. It was cold during the walk. He took off his winter hat and put it over my head. I was against it. I told him I had my baseball cap to keep me warm, and he laughed. We then headed back to the hotel and went up to my room, which I was very nervous about. Him and I alone in my hotel room just didn't sound like a good idea, but we just sat on my bed and talked for like an hour before he drove back home. I flew back home. We messaged each other just about every day. He asked for my address, and I was freaking out thinking he was just going to come and visit me, but he said he's going to send me a Christmas gift. When the gift arrived, I opened it up, and it was a winter hat.
Correct. Oh my god,
that's so cute. Honestly, I thought it was very ugly.
What is wrong with this girl? Oh my god, be happy.
Red, white, and blue with the word cub on it. On top of that,
Wait, don't. I feel like I've seen those hats before.
it's the Chicago Cubs.
Oh,
like the baseball team.
I was like, I was like, don't you have one like that?
No. It's so funny. We're like, oh, and she's like, I hated it.
I feel like everything she says is like, oh, and then she's like, but I said no. It's like the unlikable main character.
Oh, yeah, that girl that does the videos. The insufferable character does this.
Yeah, that's her.
Yeah. On top of that, I have no use for it since it's like upper 60s during December where I'm at, but I loved it. It was early summer and I had made plans to visit and stay with my best friend in Chicago, and Anderson made plans to hang out with me too. He knew I loved beaches and said there was a beautiful beach in Chicago. I had to experience it, so I did pack a bathing suit. I was planning to wear it underneath my clothes when he picked me up. He said it's been 80 degrees all week, but it was freaking cold and breezy that day and we canceled it. That's literally it. That's how it ends.
What?
And then the comments are like, well, can we get an update?
I bet you just nothing happened.
But
it was a situationship.
No. Headcanon. They end up together. They had such a blast at the beach and
they canceled it.
They went out to dinner in place.
They went to the bean. Just kidding.
They went tourist sightseeing, and it was a blast. They had a really good time. They fell in love.
I mean,
but that's cute. That does sound like a
really
movie.
Cute. Yeah, I agree.
He sent her a beanie because she didn't have one. I'm gonna cry.
So my last story is also from r/love stories. Mm-hmm. And it says, just a cute love story my friend's aunt and uncle told us. Mm-hmm. Do you say aunt or aunt?
I say aunt.
There's a U in there.
Aunt.
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 Well, see?
Aunt.
The Tia and the
I'm like, I say Tia. No.
I say Tia. Just kidding. Okay. So this is actually not my story, but my friend's aunt and uncle's story. So I'm gonna call my friend.
You can say aunt.
Feels weird now. Let's give them names.
Yeah. It makes the stories feel so much more.
Yeah. It says Aunt A and her husband V. Anna? Annie?
There's an Arctic Monkey song, Arabella.
Let's go with that. Arabella and her husband V. Victor. Victor.
It has to be Victor. We both said it at the same time.
Arabella, 26 female, had a more or less normal childhood. Victor, 24 male, did not. His parents were strict to the point of it being child abuse, honestly.
Ooh.
He got up, went to school, went home, and stayed home all day and studied. Then did the same thing the next day. If he got anything less than an A, his parents would lock him in a closet for hours on end. His parents were also gone a lot for work, and he wasn't allowed to cook for himself or have snacks. And to this day, he can only eat one small meal a day because his body is not used to eating a lot. At least that's what he says. And Arabella has to remind him to eat at times.
What the f- very they're married, right?
Now they are.
Okay. That's very good spousal duties to make sure that he's getting in his.
That's basic human need.
Yeah.
So once he was 17, he ran away from home and was more or less homeless. He got really wild to an unhealthy amount. He went to parties every night, and he would usually pass out on the floor at some point, and that's where he slept. He also slept around a lot overall, just trying to be as free as he possibly could after being with his parents. One night, Victor went to a party, and Arabella happened to be there. V couldn't help but find her really pretty and kept staring at her to the point Victor started to what? I think this is a typo. Because it says he kept staring at her to the point that V thought he was some creep. I'm assuming
Arabella thought
yeah.
that he was crazy.
So Arabella thought he was some creep. Some of the people at the party decided to play 7 Minutes in Heaven, and Victor and Arabella ended up having to go together.
Oh, this is so
God.
dated.
Yep. Do y'all even know what's... So Victor and Arabella ended up having to go together, which Arabella almost didn't do because Victor wouldn't stop staring at her. According to Victor, he wanted to talk to her really bad, but he kept overthinking it. Even though he talked to girls he liked all the time with no problem. Oh, sorry. I like the little arrow was covering it. He talked to girls he liked all the time with no problem. I'm too drunk. I'll seem weird to her. I'm way too anxious. I should have another drink and calm myself down and then talk to her. Was more or less on a continuous loop in his head, according to Victor. But either way, for whatever reason, Arabella decided to go in the closet with him. Only problem is, Victor has some problems with being locked in a closet as a child.
Oh,
and has panic attacks when enclosed in and dark spaces.
Gosh.
Why did Victor decide to play 7 Minutes in Heaven if he was probably going to have a panic attack if he tried to play? Well, because he ignores his problems no matter what, that's why. Plus, he wants to get closer to this cute girl he wanted to talk to.
Facing his traumas for her.
That's horrible though. Once in said closet, Victor is immediately wanting to see how comfortable Arabella is with being touched and kissed, all that.
The concept of that game is just
wild. But he barely gets a hand on her before he starts to have a mental breakdown. The fact that he wanted to get a hand on her, though,
yeah,
that's a little red flag. That's
nuts.
Yeah. As for Arabella, she just feels a hand go on her hip, and then this weirdo starts to hyperventilate and starts crying.
Oh my God. This is weird.
Yeah, that's what it says.
That's crazy.
So Victor told me and my friend he never started crying, but Arabella always says he was crying like a B word.
I like that.
Yeah.
He's like, I would never. And she's like
he was crying. She asked if he's okay, and he just seemed to be getting worse and worse, but still asks her, "Can I kiss you?" and ignores his having some kind of meltdown. They keep putting his instead of he's. Like his instead of he is.
Oh, he's.
Yeah, I don't know. Of course, she thinks this guy is weird and more or less kisses his cheek and gets him out of the closet.
She's although, like, enough of that.
Yeah. Although he's swearing up and down, he's perfectly fine. They spend the whole night together after that and hit it off the whole time, more or less becoming glued to the hip and started dating. He calmed down with parties after this, and the two have been dating since then. I have no idea when they started dating or met, but they are married now. He still swears he has perfect mental health, and she still takes care of him well. He swears up and down he's fine. He's still skinny as hell, and they have been to a nutritionist. She's more or less held him at gunpoint to make him go. I think Arabella.
I would hope so.
Yeah. And they have been working on making him eat healthy, which so far is him sitting at the table and pouting while she makes him sit there until he finishes his food, as if he's a toddler. I don't know if I like that. Red flag.
Ooh.
He also treats her like a queen. He loves art of any kind and will make her artwork drawings and weird junk jewelry, which I have seen her wearing anytime I've seen her. He also loves to cook for her, kiss her, cuddle her, and act like a puppy around her. He also buys her things and just does whatever she wants. Once his mental health is a little better, they are thinking about having a kid, and that is a little in the future or right now. What? But that is a little in the future for right now. Yikes.
Like, wait, what?
Yeah. But it's something they can work for, I guess. I'm currently at my friend's house, and her aunt and uncle are here. So if you ask anything, I'll try to answer, because why not? Well, I don't know. I didn't get any of the questions on there. But what did you think about that?
I think, well, first of all, in my head, I'm actually thinking they're like 50 or 60.
Yeah. In my head, I was thinking an old couple.
Yeah.
When they said aunt and uncle, I was like, oh, it's like their
That's
aunt
for
from, like,
sure.
Louisiana.
Well, when you said Tio and Tia, I was like, oh, they're old.
Whenever I hear like aunt and uncle, I just assume that whoever it is a lot older than
me.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Lots of red flags, I think, on Victor's part.
Mhm.
And Arabella too.
Yeah.
For like letting herself go through that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like I personally,
it's just a lot.
It's a lot. But I mean, good for her, you know, if she's comfortable with that. But in a way, I wouldn't want to feel responsible for somebody else's actions.
Mm-hmm.
And also, he was like thinking he just wanted to touch her in the closet. That to me is like,
yeah. But they're in their 20s, right? Late 20s?
Yeah.
So they're millennials. They were playing 7 Minutes in Heaven.
I can see a millennial playing 7 Minutes in Heaven. I don't know. But it was like a little bit of a red flag for those things. Yeah. However, at the end, it's kind of cute that they worked out.
That they're happy together.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just think it's like, yeah, I agree. It's a lot to put on someone to like be, I don't know if responsible is the right word, but she's like basically managing his mental health.
She's his mother, basically.
Yeah. But like also it's good that he has somebody to like help him.
You know? I don't know. It's like a double-edged sword.
Yeah. Anyways. So mine is just a little New York City love story. Okay. I, 26 female, celebrated Sober October this year because I felt like I had been drinking irresponsibly and my body and mind had rewarded me so greatly for this decision that I decided to attend a sobriety event just to possibly make new friends. Nice. Good. At this time in my life, I decided I was going to focus on my mental health and my personal growth. A relationship was not even in the question. I hadn't seriously dated for about 3 years and I had given up the idea of finding someone so that I can continue to focus on myself.
Good for her.
Period. Good for her. I ended up connecting with a woman at this sobriety event and we talked for many hours. After parting ways around 1 a.m., I walked to the train and saw that it was delayed for about 30 minutes. As I waited for the train, I noticed a handsome man on the platform and inched closer to him. I inched.
I know. She moved an inch, literally.
It took her years to get over there. She's like...
He was here, and she did.
And he didn't even notice. He was like... okay. Where are we at? I never planned on approaching him. I just wanted a better view while I waited. LOL.
Me.
Once the train arrived, it turned out to be a bit crowded, so he stood near the corner of the subway doors, and I stood on the opposite corner, with us practically shoulder to shoulder. Ooh.
All right.
As the train started moving, I shuffled through my pockets for some time looking for my chapstick. Real. Me and my tote bag. I had so many things in my pocket that it felt like I had been digging around in there for an hour, and I ended up
her like pant pocket. What kind of pants are you buying?
Like,
it's like up to her knee.
She's in cargos with like 10 pockets.
Jeez.
I ended up dropping my chapstick once I finally did find it. It's so embarrassing.
Of course. Embarrassing. Of course you dropped it.
He picked it up and handed it to me and said, "Have a hole in your pocket?" With a friendly smile. I'd be humiliated.
I'd be like, you know what? Just kidding. Goodbye.
I just smiled back. Once the seats cleared a bit, I sat down on the seat closest to where he stood. At the next stop, a homeless man entered the train and immediately began handing out compliments to everyone. I was the first person, and he complimented my outfit and said I was beautiful. I politely thanked him, and then he looked at the mystery man and then back at me and said, "Dang, you guys make a sexy couple." I blushed and smiled.
Oh my god. This is all because of the homeless man. I bet you.
I blushed and smiled, which probably indicated to the homeless man that we didn't know each other. He then asked, "Wait, are you guys dating?" To which the mystery man replied, "Not yet."
Oh.
That's a finger bite.
Yeah, that is a finger bite. That's got me kicking my feet.
Swinging.
It's like the sticker of Harry with like
Where he's like
his little feet. Yeah. Thanks.
oh my gosh. We ended up speaking to each other until he arrived at his stop and planned our first date the same night via Instagram. How cute.
That's cute.
We've now been dating for a month and I think I've fallen in love. It sounds crazy to me still because he's better than I could have ever imagined any man to be. He's been taking such good care of me that I sometimes get scared that he just magically appeared into my life like this. I don't know what the future holds, but if I ever have the opportunity to marry this man, Lord knows I will. And there's an edit, an update. We're still together and moving in together soon. Oh, and we're having a baby. Crying face.
Dang, that escalated quickly.
And then the
How long, like between? Oh, it doesn't say how between the edit.
No,
How
but
long ago was the edit?
well,
I'm sorry, the post.
The post was 1 year ago.
Oh.
That's so cute. But there's only one comment and one reply. And it says, OMG, I love this. I've got to go to the train station and wait until 1 a.m. And then the original poster was like, Lamo, well, I don't exactly recommend.
Lamo. Oh my god.
Lamau.
It's not any better.
She didn't say Lamfao.
I would have said LFAO. Lamao. Lamau.
I thought that was a thing.
Well, maybe it is. I just don't do
It's like when you say lol, you don't
lol.
say LOL, do you?
I say lol.
Oh.
LMFAO just that seemed too long. Lamo.
Lamau.
Lamau. Okay. Adding to my dictionary. Oh my god, that was too funny.
But all she said was well, I don't exactly recommend that, but good luck.
Oh, that was way too funny. Well, that was a good ending to this. I hope you guys enjoyed that.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed flying away.
Yeah, that's how we end it.
Oh
I do. Let us know if you guys like us having reaction.
Or if you absolutely hate it because
if it's too distracting.
It might be. But we hope you have a really, really good Valentine's Day. We hope you enjoy this episode. Thank you so much for listening if you made it this far. And
no, make sure you like and subscribe and share this episode.
Yeah.
It's so nice when you do.
Yeah, and we'll make more Reddit content because this was fun.
It was fun, actually.
It was fun.
Maybe you guys comment your own Reddit stories. No, not your own Reddit stories, your own love stories. Your own stories, and we can react to them.
Yeah.
And we'll give our commentary.
For real. But yeah, thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you
next time. Bye.